So this is the kind of question that a lot of people would get wrong on the actual SAT without ever suspecting a problem, without ever knowing that this was even something that they were at risk of getting wrong. So this is why that problem solving and data analysis category really gets to people, is these kinds of percentage questions. So it wouldn't bother me. I recognize its percentages right away. I know my first move is to choose the correct open formula. And since it says we're talking about a percent greater than, I know I'm going to use the open formula with the 1 plus or minus. So O, the original, times 1 plus or minus the percent is equal to the new. So what do we have? Well, we have the than, which is pointing me to 30. And than and of are two words that point us to the original value. So I know that that goes in here. So that's going to be my O. I don't know the P, but I do know that it's a plus because it says greater than. So that's one good thing about the formula, is it's very obvious in that particular respect. And then that means the new value is 210. And the word is kind of pointing me to the fact that that's kind of my result. So a lot of different clues that are very common to just understanding the language of mathematics. Now I'm going to solve. So I'm going to divide both sides by 30. I'm not going to distribute. Let's just get that 30 out of there. All right, so that crosses this out. That's going to leave us with 1 plus P is equal to, you can do this math in your head, right? So 210 divided by 30, get rid of those zeros. 21 divided by 3 is 7. And that might be an answer that some of you will pick. Some of you will also realize that that is not a percentage, that is a decimal. And so we have to move the decimal place two spots to get to 700%. But that's still not correct because look, we haven't solved for P yet. It's 1 plus P. So we have to minus 1, and now we're done. We get P is equal to 6, which as a decimal is 600%. Or sorry, as a percentage is 600%. 6 is the decimal, right? So it's 6.00. Remember, when we're working with this open formula, in my opinion, the biggest drawback of it is that the P is always going to be as a decimal. And there's a reason for that. We want it to kind of mirror an exponential equation where our percentage is always a decimal as well. But the way that we talk about percentages isn't as a decimal, it's as a percent out of 100. So you just got to make sure to make that switch. But yeah, 600 is the answer here. Again, to me, this is not a twisted question in many ways. This is pretty straightforward. We just choose the right formula, we plug things in the right places, it kind of solves itself. But a lot of people are going to put 700 here and make a mistake because they're not thinking about how a percent change really works. They might not even do a formula. They might just look at this and be like, oh, let me divide 210 by 30 or 30 by 210 and kind of see that 7 pop up. And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah. And now as a percent, that's 700, So be careful of that. This is, again, something that is easily preventable just by knowing that percentages in general are very, very difficult on the SAT. We're not good at thinking about them intuitively, so we need to rely on the formula to make sure we're organized and we solve for the right thing.